Okay, welcome back guys. So today we're going to be looking at who the new killer could be in the next Dead by Daylight chapter. So there is some mature scenes in this video. There's obviously some potential spoiler alerts as well if you haven't seen some of the films I'm going to speak about. So let's get into it. First of all guys, if you haven't already done so, please, if you enjoyed the video, press that subscribe button, press the notification, and it'll let you when I release new videos. So let's have a look and see who I think the potential new killer could be. So we're going to look at some of the clues. So this is on a Dead by Daylight website. So we've got the 4 clearly showed in there, and what looks like a skull, black and gold. Not sure if that's any clue whatsoever. There is a few clues in regards to the 4, but I'll speak about that when we discuss each potential killer. So let's have a look at what the website actually says. So it does say during these exceptional times, and it goes on about different things that the developers have been doing. The main thing here, it says the new chapter will feature a classic license, so I have hung on that word classic, one that has marked the world of horror since its inception. As with every new chapter, it's going to have a new map, a terrifying new killer, and a mysterious survivor. So that's what the website says on there. And as I say, I've hung on to the word classic, I've hung on to the words that marked the world of horror since inception. That makes me believe that it's somebody who's been around for a while, but we'll take a look. Some of you might agree, some of you might not agree. Just leave a comment down below. I'm really interested to get a lot of feedback on this. So as it says on there, this is off a website, and I'll put all the credits to the website in the comments below. So again, doesn't really give much away. This on the comic book site, it does say it's going to be an iconic horror franchise. Again, they mention the classic license, so marking the world of horror since its inception. So a few of these words that we're picking up on. So what I'm going to do, I am going to have a look at a few killers that I think this could go down. A lot of the killers I've put on there as well has come from Dead by Daylight communities, the forums, what people's thoughts are, and I'm just going to try to sort of gauge whether we think we're on the right tracks or not with some of them. So without further ado guys, what we'll do, we'll have a look at each one. As I say, there is going to be videos playing from that particular characters' movies or franchise that they're in. Okay, so first killer on the list, or potential new killer, is the Candyman. So the Candyman's been touted a lot. His name comes up all the time I mention new killer. It hasn't been helped by a tweet that was released, and this tweet by Thomas Purser says, "Man, this Dead by Daylight anniversary is going to be," with 2 E's on there, "pretty sweet," and a candy logo on the end. Now B, that's a Candyman. That's how he was killed. He was stung by bees. Pretty sweet. Again, there's a saying on there, "Sweets for my sweets," I believe. And also, if we look at the number 4 on the Dead by Daylight 4th anniversary logo, it can be based on the fact that it was done by a hook. So again, a hook. The Candyman has a hook for a right hand. So yeah, so there's a few clues on there. I don't see where the skull comes into that. Now, the only questions I have about Candyman, is he iconic? I don't think he is. Now, hear me out on this, I am a big Candyman fan. I do enjoy the film. The film was first released in 1992. Now, do I see it more of a cult following? Possibly. But anyway, besides that fact, there is a new Candyman film, so they're remaking it. It's being released in September. So if they have got the right for that, would it be better for Behaviour to release it when the remake comes out? So maybe the next killer, not this one coming up, the one after. So I don't think, with the clues that we've been given, I do think that's a big curveball, the tweet, and I think it's just someone having fun. So obviously Behaviour aren't blind to the fact of what's being said in forums, communities, things like that. And I think someone's just having a bit of fun there. I do think they might have acquired the license to it, and I do think it'll be the next next killer potentially. I know people have said that the actor from Candyman, he started following behaviour of Dead by Daylight on Twitter, so that could be a big clue as well. So we shall see. Now I know there has been some streamers that have come out and said, one in particular has said that it's definitely not going to be the Candyman, and I believe the streamer has known the last 4 killers, so I am going to pretty much rule out the Candyman, although I think it would be a cool killer to have on there. I do think there's some truth behind it, but I do think that could be potentially the next killer after this one. When we're also looking at the fact that they've said there's a mysterious survivor, could Helen, this is this person, the lead lady on there, could she be the mysterious survivor who, if you have seen the film, at the end does become the killer herself? So we'll wait and see, but I am pretty much ruling the Candyman out for this chapter. And the next killer on our list is Jason Voorhees, famous from the Friday the 13th films. So Jason's a very interesting character in regards to he fits a lot of the bill in what clues we look at. So is he iconic? Extremely. You know, this was in a time when the slasher films were coming out around early 80s, and you'd struggle to really find someone who doesn't know who Jason Voorhees is. Now, is it a classic? I would say so, yep. It's released a lot of franchise movies, the last one being in 2009. Now, there is a slight problem with having Jason on Dead by Daylight. One, we already have a Friday the 13th game, but two, this is the bigger problem at the minute, and this is a tweet by a copyright, trademark and entertainment attorney. So basically, there is a court of appeal going on in regards to a lawsuit for about the rights for Friday the 13th. There's not going to be a decision probably by June 2020, so there's been no decision as yet, and it's likely not going to appear for another month and a half or so. So this puts it all in limbo. This is why the last Friday the 13th film was 2009. The lawsuit's been going on for quite a while, so it's very, very unlikely that anybody can purchase a license for him. Now, the Friday the 13th game has stopped being updated for this reason, because basically, who are you going to give the money to? Who would you pay the license fee to if there's a court case currently pending? So I'm afraid, as much as this might disappoint a lot of the Jason fans out there, is that I think Jason can be ruled out of the list of the new killers coming out. Again, this could be another future project for them. It would be great to see Jason on Dead by Daylight, but at the minute it's pretty much impossible. On to the next killer now, and this is another one that's been brought up quite a few times, and it's Pinhead from the Hellraiser franchise. Now again, we look at the clues. Is he iconic? I believe so. Very, very classic films. Spawned a few sequels. If you haven't seen them, watch them. They're very well worth the watch. It comes from the Clive Barker series, so you know Clive Barker, a big horror writer. So very iconic, very classic. Fits the bill in a number of sense. Now, here's where I think there could be a problem with having Pinhead on there. Pinhead and the Hellraiser series is based around chains. Now, there was a lot of clues, and he was mentioned a lot before the Deathlinger came out because of the chains, because of the how the two are interlinked. So would it be a good character to bring into Dead by Daylight right this very moment? You know, so we've had Deathlinger come out a few months ago, bringing out another character. Unless they obviously change the whole dynamics of his powers, then it's going to be a bit of a clash, I feel, with the last killer they've released. Deathlinger has sort of took his glory, the fact that he shoots the chains out of guns, brings the survivors up to him. This is all things that would lead you to believe that Pinhead, unfortunately, isn't the one. Yeah. Again, hope I'm wrong, because the last 3 killers, I'd love to see them all on there, but I don't quite feel they quite fit the bill. On to the next killer now, and again another one who has been brought up quite a lot of times, and it is Pennywise the Clown. So again, we'll have a look at the bill, see if he fits everything on there. Is he iconic? Without a shadow of a doubt. You know, he's come from classics. He's come from a classic horror movie, books, TV show. So there's already been the remake, which was released over the last few years. But we already have a clown in the game. Is there room for two clowns in Dead by Daylight? Some of you might say yes. Everyone thinks he's quite a weak killer, but we do have that, and part of me also feels as well that maybe we've missed the boat a bit with this one. Like I mentioned about the Candyman earlier, you know, releasing them when the trend and when there's a remake being made, things like that, would be a lot beneficial. Now obviously I don't work for a game developers, I don't know what goes on behind the scene. That might have been impossible, now it might be possible, but the last film was released 2-3 years ago, it too. It would have been a perfect time to sort of put, it might have actually been sooner than that, it might have been a perfect time to put Pennywise on there, but I do feel that with the clown element, with us already having one clown, is DBD big enough for two clowns? I certainly know Pennywise would be a very popular choice. Again, he has got a very good audience, definitely iconic, definitely has that fear factor, and there's a lot of potential on what his powers could be. And with Pennywise, I'm not sure whether the mysterious survivor, I'm hanging on that word, mysterious survivor, whether that would fit that criteria. You've obviously got all the survivors in regards to the main characters on the film, from the Losers Club. You've got the young version, you've got the adult version, so you've got a lot of variance on what the survivors could be, but I don't think they're mysterious. I think we know quite a lot about them guys to put it in that category, but we never know. I hope I'm wrong with this one, but I just can't see it being Pennywise the Clown. Okay, and the next killer on our list is Pyramid Head. Pyramid Head is famous from the movie and the video game Silent Hill, and he's been brought up a few times, mainly because of a few clues that have been given and a few things that people have noticed. If you look at the picture of Pyramid Head and you look at the number 4 on the Dead by Daylight chapter announcement, there's a lot of similarities there with the shape, the way the 4 shaped and Pyramid Head's actual head. A few things with Pyramid Head. Again, I don't think he's very iconic. I don't think he's a classic. Again, that's just my personal opinion, but I think it falls in the cult classic section. There's a lot of people that played the Silent Hill games. A lot of people played, watched the Silent Hill movies, but I don't quite think it fits in that classic character. And if you're reading the words from behaviour, is this someone who's been a mainstay in horror since its inception? I don't believe so. So I can see where the clues are coming in. I can see why people are saying Pyramid Head could be the character they've got, but I just don't think he fits in the word and the behaviour reviews on the website and the other websites that have mentioned it. I just don't see it on there. I don't think he's a classic character that fits that narrative. And finally, the last killer on my list is Dracula. Now, I've used the Bram Stoker Dracula there to show it off, but this is one that I've mentioned in a few forums, and I strongly believe this could be who it is. There's a lot of things that fit in there, and again, people will say, oh, well, you've only put stuff in there that fits your narrative, and yeah, maybe so. However, let me explain. So, classic, without a shadow of a doubt. Iconic, yes. He has many different forms, so he's come across from, you've got different characters, so you can see the one playing in the background here is from Van Helsing, you've got Bram Stoker's, you've got so many different characters that fall into that category. One thing that got mentioned a few times when I've mentioned Dracula is, oh, you don't need a license for Dracula. However, after looking it up, he is a licensed character, because obviously if he wasn't licensed, then yeah, that would throw a bit of a spanner in the works, but Dracula is a licensed character that you'd need. Another thing that I think with that, if I look at Mysterious Survivor, could the Mysterious Survivor be Van Helsing? Now, if you've seen the movie Van Helsing, very mysterious character on there that not a lot of people know about. Now, obviously, this was an action movie. In all the Dracula forms, Van Helsing is Dracula's enemy, so to say, you know, and his nemesis that is always trying to take him down. So, perhaps the movie version of it is the character that are going to have. I do feel Van Helsing fits in the Mysterious Survivor category. I do think Dracula, you know, if we look at his inception, you know, since his inception, Dracula it's been around since the 1800s, the story itself. So there's a lot of things that point towards that. I think it's a very big character that put on, and there's so much potential what it could do with him, his powers, his abilities, how he looks, the different cosmetics. You know, there's so much that can be done, and I do think the way behaviour pushing it, they've gone all out with this one, and this is why I feel personally Dracula could be the new killer on the game. I don't know which variant he'd be in, I don't know which movies he'd be in from, but I've got a funny feeling he fits in there. Now, let me know if you agree, guys. Again, this is just my opinion. I've got no inside information. You know, we're only a small channel. There's no inside information. It's just things that we've looked up at, words that we've used, looking at the different tweets that have come out to try to narrow things down. In 2 weeks' time, we could be looking at this and I could have egg on my face. You know, it could be the Candyman who I've wrote off, it could be Pinhead, it could be any of the ones that I've wrote off there. It could be Dracula, and I could be like, oh, that was a good guess. But let me know your comments. I'm very eager to see people, what their opinions are on it, because you're looking at the forums, there's so many different killers that are being banded around, so it's really interesting to see. But yeah, drop me a comment, be polite about it, you know. If you don't agree with stuff that I've said, that's fine, you know, you're completely entitled to your opinion, but I really want to hear your opinion on it and maybe some justification as why you think it is. So yeah, so I look forward to seeing them comments, guys. So that's that for the video. I did want to make out a special mention, because going off my classic route, there was a few other killers that I thought of and ruled out, but we've got aliens, that's been mentioned quite a lot, so Xenomorph. We've got Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, again, Mysterious Survivor there. Frankenstein, another classic killer, could it be something along them lines? I've sort of ruled them out and stuck my neck on the line with Dracula. So let me know what you think, guys, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget, give it a thumbs up. If you don't agree with it, didn't like it, yeah, give it a thumbs down. As I say, you're entitled to your opinion. If you share the video, drop a comment, and if you enjoyed it, just press that subscribe button and press the notification bell just to be notified of any other videos that I release. And I've got quite a lot of videos on my channel if you want to check them out. Thanks for watching, guys.